So, due to developmental delays, she remains a 7-year-old emotionally and intellectually, often facing cold shoulders. But she never felt inferior. Because she had a super loving mom and a bunch of caring little friends, she was basically a happy fairy surrounded by love. Shangyin is more innocent and romantic. The other day, she saw a handsome cop in the street playing with kids, like a prince. His tall and handsome stature made her heart race, like she had just seen a hero straight out of a fairy tale. She quickly took out her camera, frenziedly snapping his departing back. Since then, she seemed to lose her mind and wandered about aimlessly. The guy was named Zhongfan, who had just been promoted to a policeman. One day, Zhongfan and his colleagues were taking photos when Shangyin, accidentally in the frame, caught his eye. The traffic lights failed, trapping her in the road. Zhongfan rushed to save her, but traffic rules forbade it, and Shangyin recognized her Prince Charming. Blushing, she couldn't bring herself to look him in the eye, and before she knew it, he had coaxed her into giving him her number under the guise of safety. The compliments from Zhongfan made Changyin's heart feel incredibly sweet and blissful. Even though they had only had a brief encounter, she silently thought of him as her destined Prince Charming. As soon as she got home, she hurried to tell her best friend Yingran about meeting Zhongfan, but Yingran cautioned her not to blindly trust a man's sweet nothings. Shangyin was too lost in her romantic daydreams to listen. At that moment, Zhongfan called Shangyin to invite her to dinner. For her first date, Shangyin brought her best friend. They decided to meet at her kid's restaurant. Hearing Shangyin's unusual suggestion, Zhongfan was surprisingly intrigued, and Yingran quickly helped her out. She had to find her way to ease Zhongfan's concerns. On the way home, Shangyin couldn't help but revel in the sweetness of her unexpected happiness. But Yingran was worried sick. She feared her friend would abandon her for love. So she asked Shangyin, "If you and Zhongfan fell into a river, who would you save? You're such a good swimmer." What a tricky question. You're willing to toss away a real friend for a fake romance guy. Shangyin's words struck Yingran right in the feels. Hearing those heartbreaking words, Yingran ran away crying, completely upset, while Shangyin stood there, baffled. At that moment, Shangyin's mom heard the noise, rushed to the water, and, worried, took her to a karaoke bar without much talk. She thought that singing would lift her daughter's spirits, so she promised Shangyin that for every game they won, she could make a wish. Before she finished, Shangyin was no match for her mom, quickly losing 10 games. Seeing her defiance was great. Her mom's face was full of indulgence. "Mom, you're so greedy. If I mess up, I guess I'll have to take more Korean lessons. Those words are simply too fast for me to keep up. For my first wish, I want a bicycle. Now, that's going to be quite a challenge. For my second wish, I want to fight with Yan'an, but we have to negotiate well first. It's like negotiating with anyone else. My third wish is to talk to Mom all day long. And for my fourth wish, this is crucial, get home before dark. My wishes this year are so simple. This is truly a mother's love, yet at this moment, Shangyin couldn't comprehend her mother's heartbreaking concern. Her mother's wish was simple. She never pressured her daughter to do anything, just hoping she could grow up healthier and happy. After their first date, Zhongfan found himself increasingly drawn to this innocent girl and often called her out for Shangyin, who had also developed feelings for Zhongfan, no longer turned down his invites. They just kept on. From their first meeting strolls to biking dates, leaving happy little footprints everywhere they went. However, during the sweet outing, Shangyin fell into the grass while riding her bike, sending her belongings flying everywhere. Subtitles, they fell out. Zhongfan rushed to help her pick up. At that moment, a card caught her attention, boldly reading intelligence tests. She couldn't believe it. The girl on a date with her turned out to be a genius. How could this possibly happen? This is simply a joke falling straight from the sky. What's wrong? Nothing. Remembering Shangyin's previous reactions, Zhongfan finally realized. She couldn't accept this, nor face Shangyin's innocent smile. Zhongfan left silently, full of mixed feelings. Meanwhile, Shangyin stood there, still clueless about what had happened, waiting until the sun set. Zhongfan's figure never showed up. The next day, Shangyin arrived at the police station, hoping to catch him as he came out. After an eternity of waiting, she finally spotted the charming figure and excitedly ran to Zhongfan, exclaiming, "You little rascal. I wanted to see you." Let's go take a look. We're together. That photo from last time was really something special. You cheeky little rascal, don't you dare leave, or I'll call the cops. To avoid having his co-workers discover Shangyin's situation, Zhongfan pulled her aside to think about how to break up with her. However, Shangyin couldn't understand why the Zhongfan from yesterday was now the one to propose breaking up. Seeing an angry Zhongfan, Shangyin cautiously pulled out a gift for him, but she accidentally dropped it on the floor. In a rush, Zhongfan ignored Shangyin's pleading eyes, filled with conflicting thoughts. If you like our story, please subscribe and follow for more exciting content.